When I arrived at this scene, the garage door was open. Inside this door is a laundry room that has blood on the floor extensively, what appears to be a bedroom. Found the body of a white female, is apparently the victim of a gunshot.
So, this case, you're talking February 25th, 1994.
Talk about a sweet, innocent victim in your own bed, in your own house in the middle of the morning. Jeez.
She was a young woman.
She was 40.
She's pretty.
She's got 4 kids. They basically grew up without their mom. We're back in my home state of Texas to investigate the 25-year-old murder of a beloved mother of 4, Jackie Hogue. Jackie lived for her kids. She worked 3 jobs to support them, but still found the time to be involved in all of their activities and be their loudest cheerleader at their games. The kids coming home from school and finding her there.
It doesn't seem like any type of a high crime area.
I don't think you really expect someone's going to come in your bedroom and shoot you in the back of the head.
Sexually assault you that way.
It was a typical morning. Jackie said goodbye to her kids as they left for school. A few hours later, 2 of her sons came home from school to find their family dog brutally beaten and Jackie laying in her bed, sodomized and fatally shot.
It's a timeline that we got to take a look at. She's dead sometime between 8:30 and 11 o'clock, 11:15. When the kids come home, her body is warm, the lividity isn't fixed or anything on it.
I've worked hundreds of crime scenes in my career, but this one is very gut-wrenching. My heart goes out to those boys for the trauma they suffered for seeing their mother the last time that way. That's something that's going to haunt them forever.
Somebody that young, you want to come home and protect your mother, and you find her, and I don't know.
One of the boys, Jody, committed suicide.
Right, day after, Mother's Day.
Jackie's youngest son never recovered from her murder, and 17 years later, he shot himself in the heart over her grave. Her family has dealt with so much pain, and it is time for her killer to be brought to justice.
It's just a matter of finding out where everybody was, pinpointing their alibi, their timeline, and figuring out who did this.
It has been 16 years and still no answer.
Police consider her killing a cold case.
Years later, the case is still unsolved.
I've chosen cold cases from across the country and teamed up with the best detectives to solve them. We're more determined than ever to bring justice to these victims.
It's like a beautiful day.
Like that kind of weather, huh? Hi, guys. I'm Kelly.
Brian Thomas, Sheriff.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff.
Randall Sims.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you
It's been a long
again.
time.
It has been, Sergeant Brad Haley.
Hi. Stephen, finally. We're excited to be here. I brought a Yankee boy down here to meet all of y'all.
We'll convert him.
So the hope is to see if we can find some little pieces, put it all together, and see what you think about it.
I think y'all will do a good job. We'll see what happens at the end.
This is a very well-known case in Potter County. This is a woman who's a hard-working mother, found dead. The brutality of the murder, it rocked the community, and people want closure on the case.
Let's put our pictures up first of Jackie. What was Jackie like?
She would be what we would call a soccer mom, mother of 3 boys and 1 girl, and on top of that, 3 jobs.
Jackie was the model for the perfect mom. She worked as a lab technician for 2 hospitals and sewed calendars at the mall to get enough money to support her 4 kids who were all from her first marriage. Steve, tell us about your case.
Friday, February the 25th, 1994, Jeremy, who is the second oldest, returns home from school a little after 11. He notices that the patio door is slightly ajar. He noticed that the dog, called Chainsaw, was in the laundry room, and there was blood everywhere. Someone had beat the dog severely. Looked downstairs and opened up the door to Jackie's bedroom, and then that's where they found Jackie. Jackie was lying in her bed, face down on her stomach. She was totally nude. Feet were apart, and there were 2 gunshots in the back of the head. And there was trauma in the rectal area. She had been raped, to put it kindly.
You think that the shots happened first or the assault happens first?
She'd have fought if that was just...
I agree.
I think she shot in the back of the head first. and then anally assaulted. And I think she's assaulted with that gun.
Do you know how sick that sounds, though? That's cold-blooded.
According to Jackie's children, she normally slept in the nude, and her .22 caliber Rossi pistol, which is believed to be the murder weapon, was missing. With no signs of a struggle, it appears that the perpetrator snuck up on her while she was peacefully sleeping in bed. And the question is, who could have done this?
Let's put up Jess Hogue on the board.
He was Jackie's husband at that time. He's a salesman for one of the beef distributions. He basically sold the wrapping.
Where is he today?
He's in Colorado Springs.
How was the marriage?
There was arguments, marital affairs. They actually divorced, but they lived in the same house.
Jess and Jackie had a unique relationship, and a year before Jackie's murder, they divorced so that the kids could more easily qualify for college funding. But they lived together, and in their eyes, they were still a married couple trying to make the relationship work.
She leaves records in her diary of the problems.
She loves him. She's tried real hard. You know, she's already had one failed marriage. Now she's going through another one.
And how about financial motive? When you added up all the different life insurance policies, we're talking about over $200,000. All right, let's go to the morning of.
Jess was last seen with the victim in bed with her by Julie, the daughter. And then she left. The statement made by Jess Hogue is that he left at approximately 8:30.
According to Jess Hogue, he actually left the house shortly after the children did that morning, ran some errands, and then drove out of town on business. He claims he heard about Jackie's murder shortly after noon when her mother called him. And with the patio door found ajar, we have to consider a random intruder.
What are all the reasons why you can make the argument that Jackie was killed by a random intruder?
Door being ajar.
Patio door ajar. The room was rifled through.
Yes.
And is it a neighborhood that's affluent?
At the time it was, yes.
Yes, it was.
So it would be the right place to go if you were going to burglarize a good house.
Correct.
The dog had to be subdued.
Correct.
Jackie's car was actually parked in the garage that morning, so somebody who would have been casing the house actually might have saw Jesse and the children leave and believed nobody was home at the time this incident occurred. And with the bedroom seemingly ransacked, it's possible that what began as a burglary came to a very twisted and violent end.
But you don't have any other ones where your victim's in her own bed asleep, right? In her house?
No.
We've got one suspect with a potential motive and maybe another one we don't know yet. We're going to have to dive deep into the world of witnesses and retest collected body swabs for DNA evidence to try and determine who Jackie's killer is.
This is a 25-year-old case, so
So it's time.
yes, definitely.
How are the kids doing today?
They're doing good. I'm just hoping that by bringing this back up, we're going to be able to get the results that can bring us that indictment.
It's just so sad. They lost so much. You don't want to let them down again.
Yes.
After Jackie's murder, her 4 kids were left without their mother, and their biological dad was pretty much never in the picture. They continued to live with Jess for about a year until they moved in with a family friend. We're all excited to work on your mom's case. Can you tell me a little bit about your mom?
My mom was my best friend, and she was the happiest person that I knew. She was loved by everyone who knew her.
She was very outgoing. She liked going to concerts and things. She just enjoyed life, and everybody loved her. She had a big heart, and she loved people. She was truly a nice person.
And she rooted for all of us. Being the loudest person in the stands, always knew she was there, so that was hard.
She kind of raised y'all by herself.
For sure.
And worked a lot of jobs.
She did. She worked hard.
What she did was give us the tools to make sure we have a better life. She pushed us all to just be better people, get an education. She just wanted a better life for her children, and she was willing to do just whatever it took to get there.
Can y'all talk about Jody? It affected him harder.
Yeah. From that day on, it was like he was just almost stuck there. He could not move on from that point. I mean, he was continually depressed to the point where he actually kills himself on her grave.
The day after Mother's Day.
Yeah.
For us to lose him because of this was a very hard thing to go through. I hope at the end of this that we do find the person that's responsible. It's been 25 long years. We all need closure. We deserve justice for both of them.
You come home and you know something's wrong. Talk us through that part.
When I got to the door, it was cracked open, and the dog didn't meet me at the door like it always did. I immediately knew that something was very, very wrong. I thought somebody had broken in, and that's when the dog came stumbling out. She was bleeding pretty bad. I decided to start down the stairs, and then found her face down in the bed. I immediately knew that she wasn't alive and that there wasn't anything we could do. Jess kept telling us that he didn't have anything to do with it. We all thought he did, and yet here he was saying he's innocent, saying he's gonna stand by us, and saying he's gonna be the one to help us.
He just never really seemed sad to me, you know?
And he's paranoid.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I describe him was when he was there, he was paranoid.
I'm angry because now, like, if he did do this, he is not only responsible for Mom, he is responsible for Jody.
Hey Chandra, this is Steve White. I'm calling from the Potter County Sheriff's Office in Emerald, Texas. How are you?
We sent the lab a collection of swabs taken from Jackie Hogue's body to be retested using the most current DNA technology.
It's my understanding that you have some results of some of the items that we sent you.
I do, yes.
Finding a DNA profile might identify her husband Jess as her killer or reveal the identity of a random intruder.
So we received some body swabs from our victim. We did find very low amounts of DNA on things like her oral swab that didn't result in anything. However, on the vaginal and rectal swab, we did get a significant amount of male DNA. However, it ended up being a mixture of male, so I wasn't able to pull out any one individual and compare it to that profile.
These unknown male profiles, you're not saying that they're necessarily even suspects. They could be people in the chain of custody.
Right, I have no idea. I just know that there's...
This is what keeps happening on cold cases.
Yeah, there's so many people in the sample that I am not able to interpret it.
Jackie's murder took place right around the time of the O.J. Simpson trial, before DNA collection procedures became much more scrutinized and regulated. Evidence back then was just being handled by too many people, contaminating the results. It's way better and different today than it used to be. Unfortunately, in this case, it's not going to help us. We just wanted to be sure and be thorough, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
This world of witnesses is wonderful.
And there's more of them.
I know. It's time to start talking to witnesses, and central to this case is the relationship between Jackie and Jess Hogue.
Hi, Cindy. I'm Kelly. Hi, I'm Cindy. Nice to meet you.
We want to talk to Jackie's friends and co-workers to see if maybe she confided anything to them about the circumstances surrounding her marriage.
She was such a friendly person and such an outgoing person, Jackie was, that you just couldn't help but just love her up.
She was a hard worker. She was a phlebotomist. Also, full-time mother of 4. I don't know how she did as much as she did.
What kind of mom did she seem to be?
Oh, fabulous. The best mother in the world. All 3 of the boys were cheerleaders.
Really?
So, real involved with the cheerleaders and going to all the football games and very, very involved with the children.
She was a good mother. She was fun to be around. Those kids idolized her.
That is my best friend. I worship the ground she walks on.
Okay. And I know this it's kind of painful to bring back up the memories, but did she tell you about what was going on between her and Jess?
Well, she had a temper, you know. Everything had to be just perfect.
She would tell us he's got a bad temper.
Any physical abuse or anything like that?
She would sometimes have an unexplained bruise on her, you'd see, and it was always, I ran into a door, I hit the counter, or I hit whatever. You could always tell when they had had a fight.
I said, well, Jackie, is he hurting you? She goes, yeah, we have fights. And I said, no, I mean physically hurting you, because if he is, you need to leave.
We knew that there were problems in Jackie and Jess's relationship, but now we're hearing that those arguments escalated to violence, which gives us a whole new perspective.
At some point, things in her personal life started getting weird. One day she had found evidence of a past affair, and there was a love child that came out of that.
She found a photograph of a woman and a child. She just told me that the child was supposedly Jess's, and that if that was the case, then this had happened while they were together.
And she came to work with bruise back of her hand. I said, dude, you need to go to the x-ray. It was really bruised and swollen. She said that they had had a big fight.
What's the time difference from the picture to the fight to when she gets murdered?
It was very short.
So is all this going to be in February?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was depressed a lot. In my mind, it was just a plethora of things. The love child, the affair, you know.
Pretty much early February.
Everything, I think, just came to a big head right at that point.
Jackie was aware of Jess's infidelity, but his possibly having a child with another woman took his cheating to a whole nother level. Maybe that caused the ultimate rift in their relationship, and despite how hard Jackie was trying, made that relationship irreparable.
Is there anything that maybe we didn't ask you that you think might be relevant?
I know that he was in serious financial trouble because Jackie's poor little body wasn't even cold, and Jess called, said he needed help.
Jess had a steady career as a salesman, but it seems that he was having financial problems around the time of Jackie's death. Whatever the cause, Jackie's life insurance payout sure could have helped. The kid said it ended up being over $200,000 in insurance. That'd been a quick fix, huh?
The problem I have is that this doesn't seem well planned. It seems more spontaneous.
Yeah, like she made him mad.
Yes.
But if Jess killed Jackie, what would Jackie have done at the time to make Jess need to kill her then if it was over money?
It's going to be the very end, right here at the end of the cul-de-sac.
This is one of those neighborhoods where I think everybody looks out for each other. You look at the windows, they're all facing each other's houses.
We're investigating two possible scenarios regarding the 1994 murder and sexual assault of Jackie Hogue. That she was killed by her husband, Jess Hogue, or a random intruder. We're going to talk to one of Jess and Jackie's neighbors to see if she remembers anything suspicious on the morning that Jackie was killed.
Do you remember February the 25th?
Like it was yesterday. I guess I was being a nosy neighbor. I was sitting right there in front of the window. I noticed the daughter late leaving for school. The boy had already left, and he was still there.
The blue Taurus was still there. You didn't remember seeing any other vehicles around the house or anything like that?
No, there was not.
Okay.
I was right there.
Betty doesn't remember seeing any random vehicles around the whole house that morning that would support the burglar or random intruder theory. And according to her, the only person that was actually in the house with Jackie that morning was her husband, Jess.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. What's up?
Well, I have to say, I'm still very
Pretty good.
confused from the pictures and everything, trying to understand it.
I think this walkthrough might bring some of those pictures together.
Being able to take a look at this space will hopefully give us a clearer picture of which was more likely. Was Jackie killed by her husband or by a random intruder?
Inside this residence is the body of a white female. Another entrance on the deck, sliding glass patio door, was open upon our arrival.
So this is the patio door that was a little ajar. Right?
This is the
This is the top floor.
Nothing was gone through up here.
You come in that back door because that's the only door that's open. There's no forced entry to this place at all. I'd be up here first.
There was nothing missing or disturbed on the first floor of the residence, which is the first area an intruder would have likely encountered when he entered the back door of that house. That's one point against a random intruder.
Now we're going down to the middle floor.
Inside this door is a laundry room that has blood on the floor extensively.
That is the laundry room.
That's our room where Chainsaw ends up being.
Yes, that's correct.
Chainsaw was found severely beaten in the laundry room of the residence, but fortunately lived. Jess claimed that before he left the house, he tethered the dog to the door to train her. Jackie's killer would have actually had to walk right by Chainsaw in order to get downstairs to the bedroom and kill her. So what we need to figure out is, would it be possible for a stranger to get past that dog?
If Jess really did leash up the dog, with the length of the leash he described, our burglar still would have been stopped.
Yes.
Or got bit.
bit.
This dog would be barking like crazy if you're walking down the hallway here. Jackie would have heard that in a heartbeat.
Right.
Chainsaw is actually very protective of Jackie. So not only does it seem unlikely that a stranger could have gotten past Chainsaw, but the dog would have been barking furiously and alerted Jackie. This is very inconsistent with the way Jackie was actually found, lying face down, shot in the back of the head, apparently unaware of what was going on in the house.
Going into the victim's bedroom, I stated earlier it's a white female, face down. She's on the east side of the bed.
The bed, it would have been on this wall. She would have been in this area right here.
But no jewelry stolen, nothing missing from the bedroom.
Nope.
If someone was going to look for valuables, they would dump those drawers.
Go through them.
There's
Good.
nothing out of place in those drawers. They're just pulled out.
While there were drawers pulled out in the bedroom, nothing appeared to have been stolen. It makes one wonder if it had been staged by the killer to make it look like a burglary actually had occurred. And it's also strike 3 against any random intruder.
We know that in this garage out here, the 22 Rossi is gone forever.
They found the scabbard in the Suburban. Didn't take the keys, the purse. There was over $200 that was left right there. Bypassed all that, went straight for the 22, and came downstairs.
It was common for Jackie to leave her purse and gun in her truck. A random intruder would have probably not known that. However, Jess would have.
If I'm the shooter, if I'm gonna go to the garage, I'm gonna go out to the Suburban, I grab the 22 Rossi, her purse stays there, I'm coming back in the house, chainsaw's in the room, ain't no barking going on.
Right.
Then I come down here. You walk in, like y'all just said, okay, y'all come up and figure out this part. All right, so I'm gonna be Jackie.
I think he just walks up. You know, the first one is pretty much of a contact. Bang. He steps back within 18 inches because there's stippling on that second wound right there. Her hair is going to block some of that and the blood spatter back into the gun. You can see she aspirates blood onto the pillow here. She's alive for 30 seconds, maybe a minute, she's breathing. And then he sodomizes her with the gun. The sharp point right here, that's what's going to cause damage.
During a forensic examination, it was discovered that there were injuries likely caused by the sight of the gun. It's a very heinous attack, indicating somebody had great anger towards Jackie.
Why does he cover her?
It's that guilt, it's that psychological.
There is the factor of the kids. He knows someone's going to find her.
A victim being covered is actually a sign of remorse from the killer with somebody they've had a personal relationship with, which indicates to me that the killer may have been able to sneak up on Jackie, and why Chainsaw may have not been aggravated until after hearing the gunshots, which may have placed her in protective mode and in sight of the beating.
Now you've got a lot of rage going on. That dog is still constantly barking, and then he goes in there.
As you can see the blood on the door coming on around.
There's some cast-off blood. You can see it on the pictures that the dog is transferring blood from his head there, along there.
Okay. Wow. When you break down the small details of what happened to Jackie in her bed that morning, this is all about rage. This is all about hate. This is as personal as it gets.
No forced entry. The person who did this knows the house.
Whoever got that gun knew that gun was there.
And why in the hell would a burglar take the time to anally assault her after he shot her 2 times in the head? Why kill anybody when you didn't even steal anything?
It's not a burglary. It's a murder. And it's staged to look like a burglary.
With everything that we've uncovered, it's clear that Jackie was not murdered by a random intruder. What do you feel about random intruder still being up here on the board?
I think it needs to be crossed off.
Never existed.
I always make 2 lines because I really want to use a big old fat black paintbrush to go like this. Now we're left with Jackie's husband, Jess Hogue.
Texas. You're from here. Everything's bigger and better.
Did you hear that, Steve?
I sure did. I'm not going to go there
I
yet,
keep telling him that every time we come home. We've determined that a random intruder did not kill Jackie Hogue. We've heard that she had a volatile relationship with her husband, Jess, riddled with infidelity and abuse. And we've got a potential motive in her life insurance payout. But we'll still need more evidence to prove he killed her. According to Jess, he was driving out of town at the time of Jackie's murder. So we want to analyze his timeline and his movements to figure out if he even had the opportunity to commit the murder. So start with that morning where Jess was and who he was with.
We know that Jackie's alive at 8:30. Jess is still there with her. My interest is from 8:30 to 11:30. Where is he during that time?
Jackie was last seen by her kids around 8:30 in the morning in bed with Jess and was discovered dead around 11:30 a.m. So that creates about a 3-hour window in which she was murdered. So the next thing we know for sure is the people at the law firm.
We know between 8:40 and 9 o'clock that he spoke to the clerks there and then left.
When does he leave the law office?
9 to 9:15.
After the law office, he says he decides he's going to go to Altus.
He's going to go to Altus. Why, initially?
Business. Part of the way there, he changes his mind. Decides he's going to go to Dumas.
Witnesses confirmed that Jess was in Dumas, Texas around noon. But Jess's story about backtracking from Altus and then going to Dumas can't be corroborated and never really made sense. It makes you wonder if that's just Jess's explanation to try and cover up where he was during those few hours. Because if he did kill Jackie, he could have been committing the murder during this time or covering it up. I've always pictured it like the Colorado, but it's not that big, is it?
No, and we'll drive more up to it.
One possibility is that Jess was disposing of the murder weapon, and coincidentally, the Canadian River runs right under the highway toward Dumas.
This is a pretty desolate area. It'd be a good spot to dispose of any evidence, including a murder weapon.
Take a gun and throw it out there, and what do you think would happen?
It would sink in the mud and you'd never find it again.
I mean, I think it makes pretty good sense.
Sergeant Haley.
Jess Ho was a traveling salesman and spent his days driving the surrounding areas.
Jess was cocky. He fit the stereotype of a salesman perfectly.
Keith Brazil worked really closely with Jess and may have some insight into whether or not Jess's movements that morning were out of the ordinary.
Can you kind of tell me about what his routine would have been on that Friday?
Jess was very organized and pretty meticulous about how to get in touch with him. So I always knew where he was going to be so I could, make sure he got his messages. Now on that Friday, he was nowhere to be found.
Would he have checked in with you if he was going to Dumas?
Yes. Wherever he was going, I knew about it. He always calls in. He didn't do that at all. None of it made sense because if he went to the bathroom, he would tell me. So you're looking at 8 years. On a daily basis, we worked together. So he always told me where he was going to be.
For 8 years?
I said, oh, yeah.
During the window that we care about, Jess breaks routine and is completely out of contact, something he's never done before. That is a nice piece of circumstantial evidence.
This is Steve Spangola, and I'm Steve White. Do you like to go by Susie?
I do.
We know that Jess Hogue went to a law office before leaving for his sales calls early that morning. Susan Stahl is a friend of Jackie's and was actually working at the law office at the time of the murder. It'd be interesting to see what she remembers about that day.
I know it's 25 years ago. Just what you best remember.
Jackie was supposed to bring some tickets that he'd gotten to my office that morning. And he drove up and he came in. I thought it was very weird because he had never been to my office.
Okay. Because usually Jackie took care of everything?
Yes. I said, well, where's Jackie? And he said she was at home getting ready to get in the shower when he left.
Suzanne actually recalls how unusual it was for Jess to visit the law office. It seems like it's possible that Jess was actually trying to create another step in his alibi.
A lot of times the spouse or the lover or whatever, they're usually the focal point at that point.
And we all believed that Jackie might have been having an affair.
You're her friend?
Mm-hmm.
Would
she never told me that.
Okay. Do you think she would have if she was?
I think she would.
Okay.
If we'd had time to talk about it.
Right.
It was always hectic,
This is the first we've heard of Jackie maybe having an affair.
Okay.
Thanks, sweetie.
We've been considering that Jess may have actually killed Jackie over the life insurance money. But if she was actually cheating on him, that's a new avenue we're going to have to explore.
We're going to be in here if you want to just have a seat.
We tracked down another one of Jackie's friends to see what she knew about their marriage and whether Jackie told her anything about a possible affair.
Did she have any discussions with you about the marriage?
She wanted to get a divorce, but he still lived there.
So she was trying to get out?
Yes.
You think Jackie might have been having a relationship with somebody during that time?
It's possible.
But she never really said anything.
We still haven't found any evidence that Jackie was actually having an affair, but according to this friend, Jackie was ready to move on from Jess. And it makes you wonder if that might have started some argument the morning of her murder.
I'm thinking within the year, not far after. He showed up at my house one night drunk and was just needing to talk. He started crying, and he told me if he could go back to that day, that Jackie would be alive. I would do things different, everything would change. And I keep asking him, what do you mean? Why are you saying that? Just kept assuring me that if he could go back to that day, she would be alive.
What do you tell him?
Do you think that I should call the crime unit and let them know about our conversation? He said, no, don't tell him anything. I asked him, well, if I told him that, do you think they could convict you? Okay. And he said, no, they can't convict me unless they find the gun. And that's when he told me that y'all would never find it, that y'all were too stupid.
He's saying they cannot convict me unless they find the gun.
I think that's exactly what he said.
So you've never been in this part of Texas, have you?
I never have.
It's a whole lot of nothingness, huh? This is just really kind of ranch land. So
Can you ranch out here? There's no evidence that Jackie Hogue was having an affair, but if Jess thought she was, that could have given him another possible motive to kill her. Every little way you can get Lenny to talk about how it was like unusual that day. That's what we want. We want to continue tracking down everyone that Jess had contact with the morning of the murder.
Lenny? Good, how are you?
His close friend Lenny was working at the plant in Dumas when Jess arrived. He may have some insight into his actions and mindset.
Were you friends with Jess, or?
Very good friend. We golfed all the time, drank.
Well, go back to that day. So this is the day. You're at work.
I'm the very first person that saw him, and I only talked to him for just a second, but he sure acted weird, and he was sweaty. It was like he almost didn't want to talk to me. You know, he just went straight to the bathroom, and then he went to visit Debbie, because Debbie was a purchasing manager.
Was it a scheduled call with Debbie?
I don't think she had any clue that he was coming.
He wasn't even supposed to be there that day.
Just showed up.
Okay.
A few weeks before that, he had a feeling that he thought Jackie was messing around.
Who did he think that was?
He never told me. He told me what he'd do to her if he ever caught her jacking around.
What did he say?
One time he told me he was going to take his gun and shove it up her...
Say it. Say it.
Up her... and give her a good orgasm or some kind of crap.
It's not public knowledge that law enforcement believes that Jackie was sexually assaulted with a weapon. So Lenny's saying that that's what Jess told him he would do if he caught Jackie cheating is either one heck of a coincidence or a great piece of circumstantial evidence.
He changed after that. He was a totally different person. I asked him about it, because we were that tight, and I said, did you kill your wife? And he looked at me and he started crying. He said, why are you asking that? Because I said, it just, a lot of stuff just hadn't made sense to me.
And why do you think he didn't answer that question to you?
I don't know.
We've learned about Jess's violence, we've poked holes in his story, and now we have a new motive.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
It's time to confront Jess Hogue.
You know, you look at the guy, he'd be some guy you could sit down at a bar, have a beer, and talk about the Chiefs versus the Patriots. But he's got those inner demons. I thought we'd rattle his cage a little. Jess Hogue actually lives in Pueblo, Colorado. So we've traveled out here to hit him with everything we've uncovered.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you guys?
I'm investigating your ex-wife's homicide. If you want to step out in our vehicle, I got all my notes. Put some shoes on. Okay, sounds good.
If we are going to get any new inconsistencies about this case from him, it's now or never.
Kind of walk us through that morning.
Jackie was still in bed when I left.
Okay.
I had to be in Selden Hill's office at 9 o'clock because I had a meeting with him because there had been a lawsuit. So I had to meet with him to tell Selden what I knew of that.
Okay.
That's what that was about.
Yes, sir.
Jess is telling us he had an appointment at the law office, which we've learned from a witness is not true. So were you supposed to be working that day, or were you...
I was working that day, yes. I was scheduled to go to Altus. Had a problem with some bacon film. I sold plastics packaging. But at the same time, I had a problem in Dumas, Texas. The hamburger film hadn't arrived yet.
I see.
I headed toward Altus, and I got down on the highway. I forgot what it was. And we had customer service people. I called them to see what the status was of both issues, the one in Altus and the one in Dumas. I was told that Altus had gotten their bacon film. This was on the road. I stopped at a payphone.
Okay.
But the film in Dumas had not arrived yet, the hamburger film. So I thought, I better go to Dumas because they might run out.
This is the first time that Jess has actually mentioned anything about the hamburger and bacon film as the reason he took that crazy driving route that morning. Just another inconsistency in his story. How was your marriage going with Jackie?
It was going okay. I had had an affair.
Does Jackie find out about it?
Yes.
How'd that go?
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, it's no excuse for it. I would never do that again.
Do you think she'd have left you?
No, she would. I don't think so.
We take a look at who's the most logical person here that might have killed her, right?
Right.
Who do you think that points to, sir?
Well, you always suspect the family members. So.
Who do you think did it?
Oh, I don't have any idea.
Why do you think it was committed at that time in the morning? I mean,
I was gone, Jackie was off.
Wouldn't a dog have barked if somebody was coming down in that house that they didn't know?
Yeah, she would have.
Looked like somebody beat the living heck out of them.
That's what they said.
You like dogs?
I love dogs.
Me too. Jess is a salesman, and he's acting calm and cool and has an answer for every one of the questions we ask him. So it's time to actually press him a little bit harder to see if we can get him out of his comfort zone. Did you kill Jackie?
No. I loved her. I don't have it in me to murder somebody.
Did you ever think about hurting Jackie?
No.
Was there any physical violence?
No.
Between either one of you?
No.
There's co-workers that are going to say she had some bruises on her.
Well, they wouldn't, no.
People said you got a temper. You got a temper?
We all have a temper.
We do.
We all have a temper, okay?
We do.
I'm still pissed off about Jackie's murder, yes.
I am too. This is all about who's familiar with the house. You two are the last together. That dog would have went absolutely ape on somebody coming down those stairs.
I didn't murder Jackie. I did not murder Jackie. I could not murder anybody.
Your little mind must be racing right now. Jess actually didn't even blink in the eye at the tough questioning, and he probably would have sat there all day and just talked with us.
Take care, sir.
I've talked to some of the best bullshitters in America, and Jesse's not going to fool me.
We had to tell him to leave.
Yep.
Now, what does the narcissist do? He wants
Tried to stay to convince you.
We've talked to all the witnesses, we've examined it critically, we've gone through all the details and used our common sense when we dissect the case against Jess Hogue. It's a case about the little pieces.
People that knew Jess said that he had the worst temper ever.
He had a temper. Everything had to be just perfect.
There was violence in the marriage.
She came to work with bruises.
Their marriage is falling apart.
And that picture was just the real physical proof that she needed, that Jess is out there fooling around on her.
She found a photograph of a woman and a child. The child was supposedly Jess's.
I think she finally made up her mind. Enough bullshit. I'm leaving. It came right to a head.
So she was trying to get out.
Yes. And we learned from a witness what Jess said he would do if he thought Jackie was cheating.
He told me he was going to take his gun and shove it up her.
Say it. Say it.
Up her.
And the whole alibi that he tried to set up that day. Why are you going to the law office to take care of business and write a check when no one was expecting you, even though now you say you had an appointment?
He came in. I thought it was very weird because he had never been to my office.
Why would he drive all the way to Oklahoma? In the middle of driving there, he realizes he made a mistake, and he veers off and goes up to Dumas.
This guy did the same thing for 8 years at work.
On a daily basis, we worked together. He always told me where he was going to be.
The one day his wife is killed, he doesn't do the same thing.
The whole day's events made no sense.
It isn't just the one thing here, it's everything.
We need to put it before a grand jury.
We feel like we have uncovered enough circumstantial evidence against Jess Hogue to present this case to the DA, Randall Sims.
Hello, guys.
Hello, sir. How are you?
And lady.
It's good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
I've sat in the chair Randall Sims is sitting in today 100 times listened to the cops lay out their cases, and it's always a good idea to think like a juror would think as you listen to the little pieces play out while they tell their stories.
There's a few things I want to talk to y'all about.
Sure, we're ready to answer all your questions. When it's a strong, compelling case told with passion by a cop, you can't help but be moved and motivated. And our hope is that Randall Sims will feel the same way today.
So, looks like y'all did a pretty good job. I plan on taking this to the grand jury and seeing if we can get an indictment on Jess Hogue for murder.
Oh, man.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Running from what I'm not quite sure, but I know I feel it all. The pain I felt behind me.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
You get to bring good news to Jackie's babies.
Yes.
It's great to be able to deliver answers to Jackie's kids after all these years, but it's also bittersweet because now they're going to know that the person who's responsible for their mom is their stepdad, the same person who cost them their brother Jody, who committed suicide. And that's got to be really hard for them.
It's been a long 7 days, but it's been nothing but a focal point. A lot of people were involved in this. Did a probable cause statement, took that before our district attorney, Randall Sims, and we're going to move forward.
That means that Randall Sims is going to present the evidence against Jess Hogue for the murder of your mother and your sister to a grand jury.
Well, thank you.
What are you thinking, girl?
It's been a long road. I suffered a lot of years of depression, and I'm thankful that you were able to come and help us with this, and Steve, you too. It's been a long time coming, so I'm happy to hear it. We've made it through 25 years. We're all looking just for the closure of it all.
You know, I always try to kind of figure out, in hindsight, why some cases take so long. And to me, I feel like maybe it's because God wanted y'all to grow up. You know, you're making it in life now, and you can handle whatever comes next now.
I think we all felt that it was the right time. We were all ready.
I feel like it's justice for Jody also. I know I need that too for him.
I think that's somebody that we wanted for most, that closure for him. It was not only for Mom to have justice, but it was for Jody. It was for that unity of the four of us coming together and seeing it to an end. We did it. We persevered.
So you just let your minds kind of rest now, and y'all just continue to live your best life for your mom. Because I want to give you advice like you're my babies.
All right, Kelly.
I do feel like y'all are my babies. As a mom, you can't help but appreciate how Jackie must feel looking down on her children today, that they've become the strong, wonderful people they have, and she's got to be pretty damn proud. And it's a good day for us because we've gotten them one step closer to justice. For more cold justice, go to oxygen.com.